Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's fourth video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's fourth video. Day 10 will take us to the 30th of April, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the GFS and ECM Ensembles. They run around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, and that will get us into the second half of May, actually. Wow. And I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just say that first video today was 6 a.m. UK weather forecast. We've also released European Outlook and our mid-season spring review as well. So how's the spring forecast going at the halfway point? Have a look and see what you think to the mid-season spring review. Please like, share, subscribe on the video. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. We only need to put on number 60 subscribers to get ourselves to 15.8k. So if you could give us a sub, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for doing that. Quite a busy April this week for April this year for subs. Been a busy spring as well, actually. So normally March and April are our quietest months on the channel. And often subs can go into reverse in March and April, but we're still putting them on this year. So I thank you all so very much, for subbing the channel and telling your friends and family to subscribe. If you are new to the channel, if you are newly subbed, then please make yourself known to us in the comments or when we live stream. Can we live stream again on Monday? We don't bite. We like to, see our new subscribers and that. So if you're around the channel when we're next live streaming on Monday, then you're new to the channel, then please check in and make yourself known, and we'll have a nice little chat. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for all of the support. Right, having a lovely Thursday as well. Okay, let's crack on then with the 10 to 14 days. Start off with centering temperature. CT is now sitting at 8.5, which is 0.7 of a degree above 61 to 99 average. That's provisional to yesterday, 19th of April, although that's missing from the box. So they've actually made a little bit of a mistake there at the UK Met on today's update, because they made it look like that's the final number. Of course, we've still got 10 days of April to go, and that's probably going to tick down a little bit over the weekend and into next week, as we are going to start getting some chillier days and certainly some colder nights coming up. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London. We're starting off actually a little bit below average with the upper air temperatures now. We've got cold snap coming up through the early part of next week. However, the final days of April into the first week of May, we have got this warm up. So it does look as though things will be getting milder or warmer through the end of April and into the beginning of May, after a chilly sort of final week or so of April. Precipitation-wise, there's more rainfall spikes to come, so after a little bit of a drier interlude, it looks like the rainfall is actually coming back over the next week. 10 days there will be further showers, if not longer spells of rain to come. These unsettled conditions might carry on into early May as well, so precipitation-wise it looks a little bit unsettled, but after a cold start, the temperature should begin to tick back up. Temperature anomalies from the 20th of April to 28, coming out a little bit below average for the UK, Ireland and many parts of Europe, and precipitation anomalies from the 20th 28th of May, April, I should say, 28th of April. Drier than average, getting ahead of myself, drier than average in the north and the west, near normal precipitation elsewhere. Latest Windflow Map from earthnullschool.net shows that we've got proper easterly still going on today. A large area of high pressure is still in there over Scandinavia. The Scandinavian high continues to bring those easterly winds across the north and the west of Europe, with the air originating somewhere from northwestern Russia, perhaps. And we are actually bringing in a little bit of an upper level trough tonight and tomorrow, which will bring some showers, maybe even some longer spells of rain with it. So that's a rather unsettled looking chart that we have when we begin to chart data with the UK Met Euro for midnight on Sunday. Got an area of low pressure over the top of the country then, so showers along the spells of rain can be expected into weekend. That low pressure pulls out into the North Sea on Monday, and we start dragging in a colder north-northeast wind between the low pressure in the east and the high pressure blocking around Greenland. So a cold start to next week, and then lower pressure trying to come in from the Atlantic, but being blocked to some degree by this ridge that's extending through the country. However, later on in the week, we will start to draw up something a little bit milder or warmer from the south. We've got to wait and see how far we go with that as we get to the end of next week and into next weekend. Of course, that's a bank holiday weekend. Icon looking like this again with that area of low pressure over to the east of the country on Sunday, drawing down these cold northeast winds through the early part of next week with the ridge extending down from the north as well. That should settle things down for the middle part of next week, but will be quite cool under that ridge, especially so at night with some overnight frost to come. And then the second half of next week will start drawing low pressure back in from the Atlantic, so that will bring rain back up from the southwest, but also milder temperatures will start to move in, certainly to the south anyway, but north probably still quite cold up to midday next Thursday. The GFS midnight run, once again, with that low pressure over the country through the weekend. Early next week, we take that area of low pressure. What's happened there? We take that area of low pressure away to the east. Here we go. Low pressure pulling away to the east on Monday, and so Monday, Tuesday turns quite cold with winds in from the north, high pressure reaching down from the north, and so that will settle things down to the middle of next week, but will be quite chilly into that area of high pressure with further cold nights to come. Keep your data cuts covered. Into the second half of next week, we start to bring up something a little bit milder or warmer from the southeast as low pressure develops in the Atlantic, and then we head on into the bank holiday weekend. And we're sort of in between high pressure and low pressure over the bank holiday weekend. So it could be a little bit showery, but it should be relatively warm actually with the air wafting up from France. I think we might get the temperature to the mid to upper 20s, upper teens Celsius with that, not the mid to upper 20s Celsius, not yet. So we get to the end of April, into the beginning of May. That's Bank Holiday Monday, by the way, 1st of May. Not looking too bad, actually, that. I reckon there could probably be quite a bit of dry weather. Should be relatively warm as well, so not too bad at all there. Beyond that, low pressure starts coming back in through the first week or so of May, and that turns things more unsettled, especially so down in the south. It's cooler with that as well. Still some high pressure bow bridging away to our north, so looking very typical really for the time of the year, back under high pressure again by 6th of May, which is as far as we get to with the GFS midnight run. This is the GFS 6, and again low pressure is dominating the weather as we go through the weekend into next week. We draw down those cold northerly winds, things settle down, but it does turn quite chilly, blowing like frost. Then the second half of next week, you change the wind direction, start pulling up a milder or warmer southerly southeasterly, but with some low pressure out to the west of the country. And then over bank holiday weekend, look at this, high pressure really makes a move from the southwest, builds quite strongly across the coast. That's a warm ridge as well, pushing up from the Azores and from the south, so that should start raising the temperature. So as we get into bank holiday weekend, looking very nice actually. That's bank holiday Monday, and we're under a 1,035 millibar area of high pressure there. I don't see why that couldn't get temperatures to 21 degrees. So we've talked about this before, 20 degrees. Of course, we did get 20 degrees the other day across some northern parts of Scotland. Generally, we have not yet seen 20 degrees so further south. But that's the kind of thing that could bring widespread temperatures into below 20 Celsius there by bank holiday Monday. So that will be a very, very nice bank holiday Monday. Sticks around for a few days as well into the opening days of May. Look at the upper air temperature. We're looking very warm, hot upper air temperatures across France, Spain, Portugal, by the way. Excuse me. Doesn't last all that long, though. High pressure then pulls back out into the Atlantic, and cooler northerly winds return again. So as we get to the end of the GFS 6Z, which is Saturday the 6th of May, we're pulling down a cooler or colder northerly again. Of course, that's the coronation day. That's the day of their Majesty's coronation. And it looks a little bit chilly. Probably mostly dry though down the south, so it won't be too bad. But up in the north, it does look quite cold, maybe with a few wintry showers from northern Scotland. But it's over 2 weeks away, so not really worth worrying about. If you're enjoying the video, then please can you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for doing that. and drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. We thank you so very much for doing that. GM, again, we're back to low pressure over country on Sunday into early next week. We draw down these cooler to colder northerly winds and a ridge of high pressure building through the country. Through the middle of next week, we'll settle things down, but it will be quite chilly. Second half of next week, low pressure starts coming in from off the Atlantic, so it turns milder. The wind's coming in from the Atlantic, but is unsettled as well. And then up to daytime, we start pushing up high pressure from the southwest. Should be a lot of drier weather with that. It's bank holiday weekend, but not particularly mild. Certainly not as warm as the GFS 6Z run had it. And then the ECM looks like this again, with a trough of low pressure over the country on Sunday, bringing showery conditions. We draw down a cold northerly through the early part of next week with a ridge of high pressure, settling things down. There will be not too bad by day, probably with the strong late April sunshine, but by night I imagine it will be quite cold with the risk of ongoing frost, particularly so up in the north. Second half of next week, we start to push up some milder or warmer air from the south, especially into more southern parts of the country, and that's sunny 30th of April, right in the middle of the bank holiday weekend, under an area of high pressure. Again, it's not particularly warm with that, because we're still bringing in a wind from the east and from the northeast. So the way the high pressure is positioned means that it's probably going to be, about average temperature-wise, but it doesn't look too bad. I think the bank holiday weekend, well, when the prospects are picking up, actually, after a rather dodgy start. So this is the GFS, what I'm talking about, this is my Precipitation Forecast, based on that ECM run from Tometeo.com. I need to have a few days off, I think. Right, so we've got showery rain coming in from the east across England and Wales tonight and tomorrow. So those showers could be quite heavy, and they might have a rumble thunder mix in. More general air of rain sets up through northern parts of England, North Midlands, North Wales as well. At the end of the week, that rotating around into the weekend as well, gradually pushing back eastwards again. And then we draw down those cold northern winds, opening wintry showers into Scotland, lunar rain sticks over every parts of Wales and the Midlands by the beginning of next week. Then we're at ridge of high pressure, so we turn mostly dry, but will be chilly before we start bringing wet weather back in from off the Atlantic again, and we start lifting up the temperature. It'll be mostly dry by daytime. This is the option on the table within the ECM Ensembles for daytime from the Icelandic Met Office today. Gets us to the 30th of April. 51 out of 51 members of the ECM Ensembles, all of them have a ridge of high pressure building through Western Europe. So it's mostly dry there, doesn't it? At daytime, which of course is going to be the middle of bank holiday weekend. In 2 weeks' time, this is the option that we've got, gets to the 5th of May, 51 out of 51 members of the ECM Ensembles, again, all of them with some sort of ridge over and rather to western country. So again, it should be quite a bit of dry weather with that, but probably cooler, bringing the wind in from more of a northwesterly type direction, maybe. CFS V2, looking like this is a 500 millibar height anomalies broken down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 20th, 26th of April. The coming week has high pressure blocking away to our northwest. Low pressure is to our east and south, and so we're probably going to be drawing in the wind from a chilly, we will be drawing in wind from a chilly northerly direction in the coming week. Week 2 is the 27th of April to the 3rd of May. Again, low pressure around Scandinavia, high pressure is out in the Atlantic. It looks like, again, we're drawing down quite a cool sort of northwesterly, northerly type flow. Week 3 would be the 4th to the 10th of May. High pressure values to our south. So mostly dry, and should be turning milder or warmer with that, drawing up wind from more of a southerly southwesterly direction. And then week 4 looks quite nice. This is the 11th to the 17th of May. High pressure is set up to our east. Low pressure is out to our west. And winds will be pushing up from the south with that. That could be very warm. Although watch out for the low pressure in the Atlantic to maybe bring a breakdown, possibly even a thundery breakdown. Wouldn't that be exciting? But it is 4 weeks away, so it's not worth worrying about. But on our spring forecast, remember, this brings us back to a mid-season spring review, of course. On our spring forecast, we did say hopefully May is going to be a rather drier and warmer month after a relatively mixed sort of March and April. and, you know, we finally lose the influence of the sudden stratospheric warming that we had in February. So we shall see. We'll see how it all works out. But if we could get a dry and warm May, I think that would be pretty good news for our spring forecast. But for now, it's all speculation. Right, okay, we're done. If you enjoyed the video, please do you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Drop a comment. Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. 60 subscribers gets to 15.8k. We're on the grind to 16k, so please sub. And we thank you so very much, everybody, for doing that. I'll just tell you what's coming up tomorrow. We're going to have a 6 a.m. UK weather forecast. We're going to have JMA Friday. There will be a 10 to 14 day coming up for you tomorrow as well. So lots and lots of content to come. Keep checking back to the channel for more. But for this one, and for today's videos, actually, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.